Romeo Montague, the passionate young lover at the heart of William Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet, is one of literature's most iconic tragic protagonists. His character embodies the intensity of adolescent emotion, the transformative power of love, and the devastating consequences of impulsiveness. Far from being a simple romantic hero, Romeo is a complex figure whose traits and decisions drive the narrative and shape the play's thematic structure. Role in the narrative. Romeo is essential to the plot's progression from the very beginning. His emotional restlessness introduces the theme of youthful passion, while his dramatic shift from unrequited love for Rosalind to overwhelming devotion to Juliet sets the stage for the central romance. His impulsive choices, attending the Capulet party uninvited, secretly marrying Juliet, killing Tybalt, and ultimately taking his own life, serve as significant turning points in the story. Without Romeo's passionate nature, the conflict between the two houses would not transform into a tragedy of unprecedented personal scale. His decisions propel events forward, revealing how individual actions intersect with larger social forces. Romeo is the quintessential romantic lover. His poetic language, emotional vulnerability, and intense devotion to Juliet set him apart from the violence-driven men around him. His role as a hero is defined not by physical strength or honor but by his ability to love deeply and sincerely. This makes him a unique Shakespearean protagonist, one whose power lies in emotional authenticity. Though Romeo rejects violence, the culture of Verona pulls him into its cycle of conflict. Initially he wants peace. He refuses to fight Tybalt even when provoked. But the consequences of Mercutio's death push him into an act of violence that changes everything. Romeo's inability to reconcile these two worlds, love's gentleness and Verona's brutality, reveals the tragic tensions at the heart of the narrative. Romeo feels emotions with overwhelming intensity. When the play begins, he is devastated by Rosalind's rejection and speaks in exaggerated poetic clichés. Yet his encounter with Juliet transforms this immaturity into a deeper, more genuine emotional experience. His capacity to feel love as a total, consuming force makes him both admirable and vulnerable. His idealism also fuels his belief in love as transcendent and powerful enough to overcome hatred. This idealism, however, blinds him to practical consequences and makes him susceptible to despair. Romeo's impulsiveness is one of his defining flaws. He acts on emotion rather than reason, often leaping before he looks. His secret marriage to Juliet, performed within hours of meeting her, demonstrates his impatience with restraint. His decision to avenge Mercutio by killing Tybalt, despite knowing the consequences, sets the tragedy into motion. Even in death, Romeo proves impulsive. He does not pause to question Juliet's appearance, nor does he wait for Friar Lawrence's message. His haste reflects the larger theme that unchecked passion, while beautiful, can also be destructive. Romeo shows courage when love drives him. He climbs walls, defies his family, risks death, and ultimately takes his own life for Juliet. But this courage is paired with naivety. He underestimates the depth of the feud, the societal pressures around him, and the permanence of death. His innocence makes him appealing, but it also contributes to his downfall. Symbolic significance. Romeo symbolizes the pure, transformative power of love. His devotion to Juliet stands against the hatred dividing their families. Their relationship becomes a symbol of what love can achieve: unity, passion, and transcendence, but also what it can destroy when opposed by rigid social structures. Through Romeo, Shakespeare suggests that love has the power to challenge the world, yet is fragile when confronted by entrenched violence. Romeo embodies the intensity of adolescence. His emotional swings, impulsive decisions, and romantic idealism reflect the turbulence of youth. His journey illustrates how passion can illuminate life but also how it can overpower judgment when not balanced with wisdom. Romeo's relationship with Juliet symbolizes the possibility of reconciliation between the Montagues and the Capulets. His love transcends social boundaries, suggesting that personal connections can challenge long-standing divisions. In death, he becomes a martyr for peace, forcing both families to recognize the futility of their hatred. Broader implications. Romeo challenges traditional masculinity. In a world where honor is upheld through swordplay and aggression, Romeo prioritizes love, vulnerability, and peace. His refusal to fight Tybalt initially represents a radical rejection of violent male honor culture. However, when he is pulled into the feud through Mercutio's death, Romeo's moment of violence shows how deeply societal expectations shape behavior. Shakespeare uses this conflict to critique toxic notions of masculinity and their ability to destroy lives. Romeo's character is deeply intertwined with the theme of fate. Described as fortune's fool, Romeo feels controlled by cosmic forces outside his understanding. His sense that fate is pushing him toward tragedy reflects Renaissance beliefs about destiny. Yet his choices also matter. His impulsiveness accelerates fate's consequences. Shakespeare uses Romeo to examine the tension between destiny and human agency. Romeo's love for Juliet cannot survive the social forces around them. Their deaths demonstrate the tragic consequences of divisions, whether based on family, status, or long-standing hatred. Romeo becomes a symbol of what society sacrifices when it clings to conflict instead of compassion. Romeo represents the human capacity to feel deeply. His emotional richness gives him beauty and humanity, but it also becomes his greatest vulnerability. Conclusion. Romeo Montague is a richly layered character whose emotional depth, impulsiveness, poetic nature, and capacity for profound love drive the narrative of Romeo and Juliet. As a symbol of youthful passion and idealized love, he embodies both the beauty and the danger of intense emotion. His actions highlight Shakespeare's broader concerns about masculinity, violence, fate, and the tragic consequences of social division. Through Romeo, the play invites audiences to reflect on the transformative power of love, the fragility of peace, and the human tendency to act before thinking. Despite his flaws, or perhaps because of them, Romeo remains one of Shakespeare's most enduring and relatable tragic heroes.